Hey, good morning again, boys and girls. It is good to be with you again as we continue our story of unbelieving Benjamin. Now, I've got some things here today that I want to show you. Got to do with, I was a lifeguard many years ago. I took my training as a Red Cross lifeguard and did it at camps and different places there was. And one of the things we learned was if somebody is drowning, you need to throw something to them. And I brought this rock because if somebody's drowning, I can throw this rock. Now, it's not too heavy a rock, so I can throw it a long ways. And they can grab onto this rock, and you know what will happen? They will go right down. Now, I have this. This is easier to grab onto. It has a handle. So if I threw this out to them, it would be better, right? Because of that. No. They would still go down. Down, down, down. Now, I have this because we learned in lifeguarding to throw, row, and go. So I have this coat hanger here and my rope, and while you're looking at this like that, this is a great thing. You see, it has two handles on it, and they can grab a hold of these handles, right? What would happen, you suppose? Yeah, they're going to break. And so, however, it might be a little helpful because the weight of the hanger, when I throw the rope out to them, you know, it'll give weight to throw out there. And that can be a help to do that. There's one other thing that probably would be better. And in our story today, the person doesn't have it. Probably in Bible times, this guy would have had a rope. And he might have thrown it to somebody. But I've got this. Now, this one's a special one here. You know what this is? This is a life vest for a little child to wear. It has in it where they can sit, and then you can tie the rope around them and fasten them in, and even a zipper to zip them up so that they're safe in this life vest. And they put that on before they go out in the water, so that they're going to be safe. This is a pretty colorful one, but it helps to protect them, and this helps to keep them afloat, and you can grab onto it to hold onto it. So it's a life jacket, and that's an important thing. Now, in our story, they didn't have life jackets like this back in the Bible times. They had stones like this. They didn't have weights like that, but they had ropes. And so, now, the person that we're going to encounter today knows about water, because he lived in it a lot. All right? I've got the story here. Leah had been with Benjamin, and she heard this man singing, excuse me, outside. And he's got a big voice. And I'll tell you what, he might have been singing this song. Shalom, Shavarim, Shalom, Shavarim, Shalom, Shalom. Lahi Rayo, Shalom, Shalom. Now, shalom is a word that means literally peace. That's its exact meaning. But shalom is what, in Jesus' time, you would have said when you saw somebody. Like George is there behind the camera, and I could say, Shalom, George. Shalom. And that would be like saying hello to him. And when we got up and left, I would say the same thing. Shalom, George. That's goodbye. Shalom means I wish peace to be with you, and I'm hoping good things for you. Well, they heard this man singing, and Leah ran out and said, "Oh, Peter, it's you." Now, Peter's name had been changed by Jesus. His name really was Simon. But Jesus had changed it to Peter, which means Rocky. That would be another way of saying, "Hey, Rocky, how are you?" And so he ran up, she ran over, and he grabbed her, and he picked her up, and he tossed her up in the air. Oh, he was strong and rugged. He could do that. And she giggled and screamed as he caught her coming back down. I did that with my kids. I can't do it anymore with my kids. One, I'm too old, and two, they're too big. But I did that when they were little, and they would scream and have a great time. I couldn't do it with my granddaughter, but I could do it if I were younger. But her dad tosses her up too sometimes. Anyway, Leo screamed and was so happy, and Peter said, "How is my little princess today?" And she said, "Oh, I'm fine. I have a friend here, Peter. His name is Benjamin." And Peter looked over and saw Benjamin, and you know what he did? Ran over and grabbed him, threw him up in the air, and caught him. And Benjamin was excited too. A little scary sometimes, but Peter was good, strong, and rugged, because he was a fisherman. He'd been working hard, and he put down Benjamin, and he said, "How are you, Benjamin? What can I do for you?" And Benjamin said, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And Peter said, "Oh, I sure do. I sure do." And Benjamin said, "Why do you believe in Jesus?" And Peter talked to him a little bit, and he said, "Look, over there's a man in that blue outfit. You see him over there? That man's walking around, isn't he?" There was a time when he couldn't walk around because he couldn't see. He was blind. He'd been blind since he was a baby. And Jesus healed him. Did it in a strange way by putting some mud on his eyes. That didn't make sense to us. But he told him, "You go wash in the pool, and you will you'll be able to see again." And he did. And now he's able to be with his family. He may have had relatives that he had never seen. Talked to them, but he hadn't seen them. And then he said, and look over there, down that way, there's another man. He couldn't be around people. But you see, he's around people. He had a very bad skin disease called leprosy. And Jesus touched him, and he was made healthy. His skin was healthy. And I could point to some other people too that Jesus healed. People that were able to walk. Remember we sang that song last week? He is able, I know he is able. He's able to heal the brokenhearted, to set the captive free. He made the lame to walk again, and he caused the blind to see. And Peter was telling Benjamin about these people that had been made well by Jesus. And they could go back and be with family and friends again. If they had a disease that kept them away, they could be with them. If they couldn't see, now they could. If they were crippled and couldn't walk, now they could get up and walk to their family's house or their friend's house. It was a great thing. And Peter said, these are people that Jesus healed. And then Benjamin said to him, "But what about you, Peter? What has Jesus done for you?" And Peter said, "Well, you know, I'm a fisherman. And we were one day, got in a boat. Jesus had fed a lot of people. And he told us to get in the boat and to go to the other side of the lake. Well, I'm a fisherman. I know how to row a boat. And I'm good. I can put the sail up and we can sail." But it was dark. Now, I don't like to be out on the lake in the dark. It's hard to see out there. But he told us to go out. And so we were rowing. Well, it was getting pretty rough. We weren't making very good headway rowing or with the wind or anything. And so we were frustrated. And then somebody saw something. Maybe it was a moonlit night. I guess it was maybe a full moon out there. Anyway, we saw this object coming across the water. Thought, what can it be? Maybe it couldn't be a duck. Couldn't be a swan or a goose. It's too big for that. We thought it was a ghost. A ghost coming to get us. Oh, man, were we scared. And then somebody said, "I think it's Jesus." And I looked better, and it was. Now, usually I'm the one always talking, Peter said. But this time it was somebody else. And when I looked and said, "It is Jesus." And Jesus said to us, "Don't be afraid. It's I'm coming to you." Well, now I opened my mouth again, and boy, did I talk, and I don't know what I was saying. I said, "If it's really you, Jesus, you tell me to come out on that water and walk up to you." And you know what Jesus did? He said, "Come on, Peter, you can do it." And I stepped out of that boat. I don't know what I was thinking, but I stepped out of that boat and I started walking. And the moment I looked down at that water and I saw those waves, and I said, you know, people don't do this. People can't walk on water like this. And you know what happened? I went right down. I wished I'd had a vest. I felt like I was a rock going down. And I screamed out, "Help me, help me." And Jesus reached out, grabbed my hand. Big, strong me, grabbed my hand and pulled me up out. And we went back into the boat. Yeah, So I can tell you that Jesus can help me. There are things that Jesus can do that nobody else can do. And that was the one that he did for me. I'm trying to get to my page here because there's a question I want to ask you in that. No, that question's not there. Where did it go? I lost it. Okay, here it is. Here it is. This is on this sheet here. And Peter asked Benjamin, he said, do you have trouble believing that Jesus is Lord? And that Jesus did these things? And Benjamin said, yeah, I do. Can I go to see Jesus? Can you take me to meet Jesus? And you know what Peter said? Next week we find out. Okay? All right, I want to teach you this song in Hebrew that I talked about that Peter might be singing. It's an ancient song. Shalom is the word havadim, means my friends. Peace, my friends. Then shalom shavadim, lahi, rayo. That means till the seeing of our faces. Now I'm sitting here and I can see George's face. But when we leave, we'll leave in different directions, so I won't see his face. So it's till the seeing of our faces again, till we meet again. That's how we would translate it, till we meet again. Peace. Shalom, my friends, till we meet again, shalom, shalom, peace, peace. All right? But we'll sing it in Hebrew, and then we'll sing it in English, too. We'll keep the word shalom, which is simply peace. Shalom, shavarim, shalom, shavarim, shalom, shalom, lahi, rayo, shalom, 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 my friends, shalom, my friends, shalom, shalom, till we meet again, shalom, shalom. How about that? All right. Jesus, I believe in you. Remember that? Jesus, I believe in you. You came from above, bringing peace and joy and love. Jesus, I believe in you. All right? We're going to pray, and then it's time to go. Father, thank you for this day you've given to us again. Thank you for the story of Benjamin. Thank you for helping Benjamin to believe. Thank you for your Spirit that helps us to believe, and our families, and our church, and your world. Thank you for your goodness to us. Thank you for being able to be in school, or to be able to learn online. We look forward to the day when we can all be together again in the church and study and sing and learn together. Be with all these, your kids, boys and girls. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. Bye-bye, boys and girls. See you next week.